Hi, I'm Brian with the Tampa Hillsborough County Public Library. Today we're going to teach you how to tie 3 different knots for your necktie. So we'll start with something basic, the classic Windsor knot. So here we have our mock neck, which we'll use to tie the necktie knots around. And the Windsor starts in the back like they all do and comes across to the front. We're going to be working with the thick end of the necktie. So all of our fabric manipulation will be done there. So you cross the thick end over the skinny end, loop it up behind, and down again, cross around behind the back, and then up through and down one more time. Now we're at a good point to stop and check our tie is vaguely symmetrical and things are nice and tight. Never ever let go of the knot. Tie fabric is slippery, and if you let go of the knot, then the tensioning that you've done on the fabric so far will be lost. You're going to cross over the front for the last bit of your Windsor, come up through the back again, and down through the loop that you've just made. Do a little bit of snugging up, and you have a nice, fairly bulky, symmetrical knot that's perfect for all kinds of situations, whether it's a formal wedding or a job interview or anything like that. It's a nice, simple, classic knot. You can snug it up on your neck just by pulling on the tight end, or the thick end rather, and then slide the narrow end out to release the knot. Now that we've done our basic knot, if you want to move into some fancier knots, we have some options for you also for just that little bit of extra. The first one I'm going to show you is the Murrell knot. This knot is exactly like the Windsor, but we're tying it with the skinny end rather than the thick end. What's kind of great about this is that you can put the thick end of the tie exactly where you want it to be, touching your belt buckle, and then you just leave it because all of the fabric manipulation is done with the skinny end. The thick end will stay exactly where it's supposed to be. So it's the same deal. You cross over in the front, up through the back, and down, go around the back, up and down again, stop to make sure that everything looks tight and symmetrical, loop across the front, up through the back, down through the loop you've just made, and you have the Murrell knot, a knot that makes your necktie look like it's wearing a necktie, because the skinny end is designed to dangle down in front. This works particularly well with ties that have a contrasting skinny end to the thick end. So if you have one of those, this would be your knot. Alright, our third and final knot for somebody who wants to be super fancy is going to be the Eldridge knot. This is another one where all of the fabric manipulation is going to be done with the skinny end of the necktie. So again, you can put the thick end where you need it to be and just work with the skinny end. This knot was invented in 2007 and popularized in 2008, so it's relatively new to the scene. And it's going to look super fancy when we're done. Skinny end crosses over the thick end and loops around the back of the tie. Then we're going to come up, in, out through the back and down the other side. So now we're opposite. We're going to loop around the front and come back out the back again and down the opposite side. And here's where it gets fun. So we're going to loop around the back and shoot through the loop we just made. So now we are in actual knot territory. We're shooting through the loop. If you're running out of fabric, you could actually stop here with a fairly elegant Trinity knot. But we have all of this necktie fabric left to go, so we're going to do something with it. Take this tail, shoot it up and down through the neck opening again. I'll just tuck all that out of the way. Up and across and down. We're going to come out this side and through the loop we just made one more time. Right like that. The little tail of leftover fabric tucks up and out of the way under the collar. Right like that. and you have the Eldridge knot. So there we go. 3 different knots that you can start practicing and use on your everyday neckties. Some things to keep in mind when you go out looking for neckties. Keep in mind versatility. If you're only going to have 1 or 2 neckties, think about the color shirts that you're going to wear with them, and maybe something classic and neutral and not overly busy that will work with more than one of those shirts. Another great thing to keep in mind is the length of your torso and the length of the tie. They do come in different lengths. You want to make sure that you have enough fabric for the thick end to reach down to touch but not overlap your belt buckle, and still have enough fabric to work with. In a lot of cases, you'll be able to take a tie and practice with it, so feel free when you're at the store to throw it around your neck and make sure that you have enough fabric to get the knot that you need.